to Talkin' Jets. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am joined alongside my co-pilots. I have Green Bean to my this way. I have Mr. Matt O'Leary to my that way. Green Bean, how you doing tonight?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. My mic was off. Hey, everybody. What's happening? I'm in a great mood, dude. Things are picking up. We're heading into the Hall of Fame game. Matt O'Leary's flying or driving to Ohio. What's wrong with the world? Nothing. It's going to be a great night.
Matt, how you doing tonight?
I am amped up. We are 2 days away from New York Jets football. I don't care that none of the starters are playing. I am so amped up. I've never been more excited to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and drive for 8 hours than I am right this second.
Boys and girls, if you're just hopping into the stream, make sure you hit that like button. If you like what you're seeing here, we are going to pick some t-shirt qualifiers at the end of the stream. I think, Green Bean, you want to throw a Nightbot command in there? See if we, I don't know if I ever got it working.
Let's see.
Give it a whirly bird. Why not?
Fingers crossed.
Oh, she's
Come
out
on.
there.
Let's see. Come on, Nightbot. Do something cool. In the meantime, we got our group ticket buy down below in the description. If you want to get in on Jets Chargers Week 9, November 6th, the three of us are going to be there. We're amped up. There are a bunch of people in the chat already. They're going to be joining us as well. Very much looking forward to it. Green Bean, your thoughts on this group buy?
I'll tell you what, man. There are people that, you know, every week we sell tickets, right? There are people reaching out to me talking about how psyched they are. And I got to say, man, like I've mentioned it before, but I'm starting to think more and more about the night game, like the fact that it's a Monday Night Football game. I'm really happy that that's what we're doing. Like, again, I haven't done that. I can't even remember the last one. Like, that's how long it's been since I've been to a Monday Night Football. It might be the Monday Night Miracle. I mean, I feel like I probably had to go to one since then. But think about that. That's Lavernius Coles, Wayne Corbett, Jumbo Elliott.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
John Hall kicking the game winner.
Long time legend. Yeah, so I'm really excited, man. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to tailgate. And the fact that it's nighttime, too, while I do love my 1 o'clock games, I do. Kind of getting there, you know, not having to get there at like leave at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning to get there is going to be real nice as well. I can't wait. It's going to be great to be, to be with everybody at the Jets game.
Not to mention, the next day is election day, so a lot of kids are going to have off on Tuesday. So it means maybe some people have off from work as well. You want to come out, maybe have that extra day off. Kind of nice. O'Leary, how you feeling about this Chargers game?
Oh, I'm so excited. I had someone recently asking about it, and they were like, well, how much is it? And I'm like, well, it's this, but you get, I'm like, going through everything you get. I'm like, t-shirt, tailgate, on-field experience, ticket to the game, hang out with Jet fans. And they're like, that sounds pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, I really can't wait. November can't get here soon enough. I don't want to wish the summer away and wish away the first half of the season, but damn, I'm excited to hang out with you guys again, as always. And it's going to be a really good time. I think we put together a really cool thing here.
I'm super pumped. And I shared with Matt and Green Bean, Crossfire. I don't know if you're in the chat. I haven't seen your name pop up yet, but I know you'll be in here at some point. Crossfire actually bought a ticket for us to give away to one of our lucky listeners. So we're going to wait on that. We're going to wait as we get closer. We'll figure out some way. We got to do something to qualify people. But someone is going to win a ticket to go to the Jets-Chargers game with us. I'm super excited. That is courtesy of Crossfire.
The best.
He really
Crossfire
is.
rules, dude. What a great dude. It's exciting what he's doing.
He's the man. I mean, between, look at all the members in the chat. Dude gifted a ton of them.
Yeah, I think it's like
far
60
too generous.
or 70.
I love it. Actually, boys and girls, if you are a member, there is a new emoji in the emoji list. We have made a milk thumbs emoji. So if you want to take a look at that, try using it. Got some cool stuff.
Let's see those milk thumbs. Let's see what they look like in the chat.
Do the sound, Green Bean.
Come on, everybody. We got to get the sound. Oh, there they are.
It doesn't work without the sound.
It doesn't.
It's the only way likes happen.
What the hell? I'm not.
Oh, see, Scott's being creative. Milk thumbs. I do like that.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Boys and girls, if you didn't know, myself, O'Leary, Green Bean, and Richie went to training camp this past Sunday, and it was friggin' awesome. We met so many people over the course of that day. Guys came up to us, took some pictures, hearing your thoughts and all the stuff going around camp. Green Bean, how'd you feel on Sunday?
Dude, I'll tell you what. We were number one. It was awesome, right? Just to pull in there and get there, and because I've never been to One Jets Drive. You know, I've been to Hofstra a bunch, and I couldn't wait to get there. So it's kind of surreal pulling in. You see the building, you know, you can recognize it right away. And you're like, holy shit, that's really that. You know, that's really the place. But you know, seeing all you guys, O'Leary and Richie were waiting online, so I got to jump the line with them, and then you pulled up with your pizza head on, and we got to do that. And then, but I'll tell you, as soon as we walked in, dude, who did we run into?
Bill
Rucker. Jeremy Rucker's dad. It was like he was like waiting for us. Like, hey, it was just, I don't know. That was the coolest. We weren't there 5 minutes, you know, in the whole place, and we got to hang with him. We saw Kyle Stickles.
Oh, that was awesome too.
Yeah, the amazing young man that announced the first round pick, Will McDonald, this year, made us all proud. I told him so. We were all bugged out over him. We were like, hey! He's like, I like watching you guys. We're like, dude, screw that. You're the man.
Dude, his energy. Richie, I didn't even think about it. Richie got the JETS chant with him. I was like, oh, it was such a good idea.
Yeah, it was so
love
great. Richie's a pro at that. Richie goes every day. Richie knows the deal. You know?
Oh, yeah. Richie and I are going Saturday, Sunday.
See? So there you go. You guys are, see, you get comfortable. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't even know where I was. I couldn't believe I was there. You know? I was an old man walking around a candy store. But
shout out to
amazing,
Richie.
Dude.
Shout out to Richie for I was going to say shout out to Richie for making that drive, because the 3 hours home in the car by myself was a little depressing. I don't know how we could do that multiple times a week, but guy's a legend for it.
Dude, I'm so glad I'm like 45 minutes from the stadium. I could not do what Richie does. I would not travel, 3 hours each way. Dude is a champ. We saw Weed the People there.
Yeah.
Drops in the super chat. He says, what up? Great to meet y'all. I saw Phenom the other day. I don't know if Phenom was just with Richie or if I saw him with you guys, but Phenom was there.
Sergeant Cavo.
We saw Sergeant Carvo. We saw, oh, God, the Talon name. What the heck's the Talon name? Hold on.
Ryder and Talon's Pa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hung out with him. Weed the People was, we were on Twitter, and he said he was there, and then he said, look for the hat. And we were able to spot him pretty easily because of his hat.
And his smell.
Yeah, right. Just let me say this. The name is not just the name, everybody. It's real.
Hey, Green Bean stood up and go, "Weed the People."
I did.
It was so great. So much fun. We were sitting down before camp got started, and like Nathaniel Hackett's walking around the field, and like he just walks past us, and he's like walking away, and I stand up dead quiet. Sean Payton's a scrub at the top of my lungs. Get the fist from Hackett. New York's behind you, Hack. We love you.
Yeah, that was great. He gave you the old fist. You know what I mean? He acknowledged it. He knows. Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you guys can go, like anybody in the chat, if you're like in the area or whatever, like if you can pull off going, it's worth it, man. It's a full day. Players walking around. They're throwing this T-shirt. I was able to catch this T-shirt from the Jets. I don't remember if this was thrown by Gibson or who was the other? Was it Brownlee?
Is Brownlee? I think was the other one, right?
So Brownlee and Gibson were throwing out shirts. I probably caught mine from that dude. You know what I mean?
Just some random guy. The one that tried to take Richie's phone.
Yeah, that guy, right? But I never win anything, man. And I went to Jets camp and I won, Ma. Look at me. People really do win.
Richie got
What?
Yeah,
What's that?
he did get 2 of them. I thought it was really funny when Green Bean pushed the 7-year-old out of the way to grab the shirt. That was really my favorite part. And then
Dude, how dare he step in front of me?
Threw him right down the stairs.
That's where he deserved it.
Right off the back of the bleachers.
His dad said, "See, that's what you get.
You got to learn to
Get
body
mush."
people. That's what happens. You're cut,
Yeah.
kid. You're out.
Hey, you're
What
gonna
happens?
play. You got to know the rules, right? You got to know the rules.
How
By the
about
way,
when
I didn't
Dalvin?
really hit any 7-year-olds. I want you guys to know.
No.
That is true. No 7-year-olds were harmed in the
12.
making of the the July 30th training camp.
Yeah.
But Dalvin Cook came out. That was awesome. The fans chanting Dalvin Cook. And then the New York Post takes Green Bean's comment. I don't know if you heard Richie's video. When everyone was chanting Dalvin Cook, you hear Green Bean right next to him, sign that contract.
It was a New York Post story. I was reading
Yeah.
the Post. I go, holy shit, that was Green Bean chanting it.
Yeah, that was just we were just being funny.
Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
was great.
Yeah, I know they made it sound like the article makes it sound like there were droves of people yelling it. It was just me.
It was just you. You were just close to the microphone.
I was just right next to the microphone.
Yeah.
That's all. That was good.
Yeah. and How about Cook standing next to Woody Johnson and Breece Hall? All the smoke about, oh, Breece Hall is upset. He's grumbling and all this other stuff. And then we see him standing next to Dalvin Cook and, not beating each other up. Don't look upset.
Yeah, they did the old handshake hug, a Rooney.
Yeah. Do you think Cook's actually going to sign with us? We have a poll question in the chat, and it seems like Jet Nation is dead even. Will Dalvin Cook ultimately sign with the Jets? 49% say yes, 51% say no.
I don't know. What do you? I don't think he's gonna. I think if he was gonna, he was gonna. You know what I mean? Like
See,
what
he
the
told
whole-
Good Morning. He told Good Morning Football on Friday morning that he wasn't signing a contract until he talked with his family. So he was never going to sign. We just hoped he was going to sign. Like we wanted the whole crowd reaction of like people going nuts, like with Schefter tweeting out like Cook signs with Jets or something like that. But he's always planning to go home.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he could have went home with the contract. I mean, what do you think the holdup is? Is it the money? Is it that he's just full of shit?
No,
he
well, I
hung
think
out
it's a
all
little
day.
bit of. I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's, hey, let's put on as big a show as possible. Hard Knocks is there. He's going to get his name out. He's going to try and get as much money as possible. We're seeing this thing with the running backs, obviously, with Jonathan Taylor requesting a trade and wanting more money. Saquon Barkley, getting a new 1-year contract with some incentives in addition to his franchise tag. And there's just this big running back payment kind of problem because the franchise tag in 2015 was like $11 million. Now it's like 10.3. Like franchise tags aren't supposed to go down in value, but for the running backs it is. So I think he's trying to build up his value, whether it be for the Jets or for another team. Hard Knocks is going to publicize that. And then I think the Jets side of things, we want someone who's not going to take a top end deal. Like if he wants to play for us, he's going to have to take some level of a discount. And I think if you look at where the season's going, or like where the preseason's going, you got the Browns game, you got the Panthers game. I don't think we have to sign him right now. Like running back's one of the easiest positions to transition in the NFL, going from college to pro, and from team to team. I would imagine it's pretty similar as well. And I think the Jets want to see what they have in Carter, Knight, and Izzy before committing to another running back like Cook and spending a little bit more money, because I think it's weird, right? Like I feel like if you're planning to sign Cook, you're probably planning on putting Breece on the short-term IR to free up a roster spot. But it seems like Bawden's definitely making this team. So is he going to be running back 4, or is he like quarterback 3, like taking that roster spot away? That's the only way I can kind of make heads or tails of it. Like I don't know if we're going to carry 4 running backs plus a fullback. I don't know. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, or maybe one less tight end. Like maybe you carry 3 tight ends instead of 4, and Bawden gets that spot. I did a video the other day where I went through and tried to predict the 53, and I was like, geez, man, like this is really, really tough to get this to fit. And I know they like the fullback, but like a part of me would rather them use Ruckert in like that H-back role so that they could save the roster spot and use it somewhere else. But it's not going to be easy to get this thing down to 53. Some guys who can play football are going to get cut, unfortunately.
Greenbean, what are your thoughts on how the Jets are kind of lining up this running back room and how you see it maybe playing out?
Well, I think it's a good point, wanting to see the young guys. And it could, the old line, like, if we don't sign Dalvin Cook, maybe it means Breece Hall is ahead of the game. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see this weekend, or not even weekend, but Thursday, how the running backs look. Like, let's say Michael Carter and Izzy and Bam look lights out, like they dominate the game. I mean, granted, it's against second stringers and all that, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, but still, it would show something, and maybe they would feel like they don't have to do that. I mean, I don't know. I think that they want to do it. It's probably just a money thing, like maybe. I mean, we know what Miami upped their offer to what? 4?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even hear there was an offer from Miami.
Yeah, that came out last week. Maybe it wasn't real. I don't know. But I mean, what are we offering him? I mean, he wanted 8 originally. Then it was like Miami offered him like 3 or something like that.
I wonder if we offered him anything at all, or if it's like, hey, if you want to be here, let us know. Like that kind of conversation. Like we want you to want to be here. We don't want to have to bid for you.
Yeah, right. Like here's what you're getting. Here's what we're offering. Take it. But and your idea with Bawden is interesting. I mean, we're hearing all that stuff about Hackett really loving Bawden, but I don't know. I find it difficult to cut a guy like a Bam Knight. Who looked great at practice, by the way. If I had to pick a back that shined that day, I think it's probably Bam Knight. Michael Carter looked pretty good at times too, but Bam Knight looked particularly good when we were there. And it's like, do you cut a guy like that for a fullback when you have really a nice, solid tight end room, man? You can very easily stick Ruckert in there, or Conklin or somebody like that without too much issue, I would think. I mean, how much of the offense is going to be designed around a fullback? I mean, and I like Bawden as much as the next guy, and I like fullback as much as the next guy, but it just feels like we have a lot of guys that should make the roster over Bawden. Is that fair? Is that a fair point?
I think yes.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from on this too. I think I don't see any way the Jets carry a third quarterback. That's why that third quarterback slot is almost like that free chip to move around the, where you want to put it. I think we're carrying, 6 wide receivers, right? You're talking Garrett Wilson, Lazard, Corey Davis, Mecole Hardman, Cobb, and then Brownlee. Probably those 6, if I had to guess. Am I missing something?
Does it have to be a quarterback that holds that spot? Can you sneak
No.
someone
Well, that's what I'm saying. You take away QB3 and you use that roster spot for someone else.
Yeah, but they gave us that free roster spot for quarterback 3. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Right,
so then I guess you don't have to. So you don't carry 4 quarterbacks. You have the third one then.
But is that like that doesn't? Okay, wait. Yeah, no.
Because I think third
right,
quarterback doesn't count towards the 53. So it's really 54 that you carry.
That's what I thought. I'm with Ryan. I thought it didn't have to. I didn't think it counted towards that roster. I could be wrong.
So it's not okay. So it's bonus. It's 54.
I forgot they did that.
Third.
Interesting.
Let's see. I'm going to use.
They would carry. Yeah. So they would still carry. Right. So they would carry 2, and then you.
Oh,
I guess
no. So it doesn't impact the active 46-man roster. So it would still count on the 53, but it wouldn't count on the game day 46.
There it is.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So maybe they elevate someone from the practice squad. That's probably the way they do it. They probably only carry 2 and then elevate someone from the practice squad to be QB3 for game day, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I think they should be expanding the damn rosters already. What is this madness? Right? We should have 60. And why can't those last guys be active? What is that? What's the benefit?
It's bullshit.
What's going on, Ryan?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I'd love to see. I mean, because what are rosters at right now? Is it 100 or 90 some odd? You're talking
90.
Half the league is going to get cut at the end of August.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, and it's just weird. Like, they expanded it a game. They expanded the practice squad, which makes a ton of sense. They did it for COVID, and it was so great they kept it. And then being able to have guys on the practice squad that are vets, that was new, and they decided to keep all that. So why don't they just expand the roster? Make it 60 guys. You know, make them all active. I mean, I don't understand why 53. If somebody knows the benefit to that, like why 53 and then only 46 can suit up, like why not just let them suit up? What
I would imagine it's a money thing. So like if you're on the 53, you're probably at like whatever minimum of contract, and then like after, I mean, it's all about money. Like owners don't want to have to pay, you know, an extra 6 players or 7 players to make it 60 times 32 teams, because now even if that's at the vet minimum, what's that, $1 million? So it does kind of impact that side of things, because then you have to bump up the salary cap, and it's like, I gotta not buy toilet paper for a week or whatever rich people do with their golden toilet paper. I'm assuming that's what Woody Johnson wipes with. Is that right?
Yeah, I think
golden
so.
bidet shoots him with gold.
Right, the gold dust. It's like a sandblaster.
Oh no!
Very effective. You guys don't know. They do that in Paraguay.
Oh Jesus, that would be painful. Crossfire.
No, it's done at the exact perfect pressure. Perfect.
I don't think there's a perfect pressure to get blasted in the butthole of sand. That feels like probably not a great idea.
Right.
Crossfire hops in. He says, "What's up, guys? Crossfire. I'll say it again. Dude is donating a ticket for a giveaway for our Monday night Chargers game. We're going to give that away, like, what do we say, like maybe a month beforehand? I think that's the way to do it, in case someone wants to like fly in and do something. But we want to wait till we get closer, give people enough time to, you know, get entered into this contest. Crossfire, you're the effing man. I'm going to give you a little, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I almost hit this one.
You guy's an idiot.
And that's not true. That's
not
not true at all. I was like, that's the wrong button. Love you, Crossfire. You're the man. Finnegan's Flight Crew says, can't wait to meet you guys at Jets Chargers. Let's go, Finnegan! Yeah, he's going to be there. We're excited.
Right on. There's Finnegan. He'll be with us.
Hell yeah. I am oh so excited. Oh so excited. Where were we talking about? What were we just talking about? Training camp.
Quarterbacks, rosters, Dalvin Cook.
Oh, that's right. That's
Sand
right.
blasters for your balls.
That's right. That's right. Does a bidet clean your balls too? Is that like part of the deal, or is it just like butthole? I don't know. I've never used one.
Well, let me say this. There are numerous versions of the bidet, but your balls should be out of the equation. But there are front, for females. There are, like the one I have has 2 settings. One for the back, one for the front, so it's directional. I use the front one all the time just for fun.
Ooh.
My grandmother, in my grandmother's house, she was way ahead of the curve on the American bidet. And when we redid her house, she had 2 bathrooms with bidets, and there was different styles. And one was weird. It was like a faucet. You had to sit on it backwards. It was like a toilet, and then you got off of it to sit on the bidet. You had to sit on it backwards. And all the kids would, it was really funny, man. All the kids would use it as they would play in it and use it as a faucet, like the
water fountain.
Yeah,
wash your hands again.
Oh. It stopped being a bidet after like a month. It was like the kids' play bowl.
Oh,
you nasty.
Yeah, it was gross. We didn't tell them. Hey, all you kids. Hey, Aunt Gina, if your kid, Aunt Gina will corroborate. She'll tell you. It was her kids. A lot of it.
Blitz Crew hops and he says, how big is the crew for Monday Night Football? Looking forward to it. I think, what did we do? A 50 ticket buy? I think that's what we did. Did a short run of tickets. Limit 60 ticket? Something like that.
Yeah, 50 or 60.
We're pumped. We're excited. Gonna be a good crew. Ron Weiss. Woo. We got to meet Ron and his wife. He says, it was great meeting you gentlemen on Sunday. Did all 3 of you catch a Jet shirt after we left? So Green Bean caught 1, Richie caught 2, and both of them had to body some 7-year-olds in order to get it.
Yeah, the kid was crying. It was really a sad scene, but
I know. And his mother was like,
do.
can't you just let my kid have it? I'm like, no.
Santa stole my shirt.
There's a video out there of Richie caught it live.
Caught two of them while he was live.
But I mean, he caught the actual moment live. He caught it.
Oh yeah,
on camera.
It was great. You couldn't have couldn't have done that. Couldn't have made it better.
Yeah, and you can clearly see I don't win things. I was very, very excited. I was very excited. Probably too much so.
No, definitely not. Definitely not too much excited. I love it. Ron, you and your wife were wonderful. They had their Talkin' Jet shirts on.
They did.
I know Matt's got his on over there. Matt, product placement. There we go. Yeah. If you guys want to cop yourself a Talkin' Jet shirt, talkinjets.com. Bam! Commercial. Right there. Phil Adams says, it's a XXX shirt. Get your kids their own shirt. That's an
right,
XL, I think,
me.
right?
Right, it fits me. Thank you, Phil. Exactly. If
I
it
caught
fits
one at
me,
one of
your
the green and white.
7-year-old doesn't deserve it. You know?
I was going to say, I caught one at a green and white scrimmage. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, whenever I went. And there was a kid sitting in front of me. I was like, oh, here you go. And then like our other buddy caught one. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And he opens it up and it's like what looks like a tent. It's enormous. I was like, oh, there's no way this little kid's going to fit in that shirt. He'll wear it by the time the logo's changed.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Takes a minute, but it'll be ready for you when you grow into it.
Oh, so good. So good. Speaking of training camp standouts and stuff, I do want to get to this. Did you guys catch this monster grab by Jason Brownlee? I want to talk a little bit about this. Monster grab, first off. Second off, how about that ball placement from Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
It's a good throw.
Zach's had a sneaky good camp.
Yeah, I mean, that's someone that I want to keep a close eye on Thursday. The one, Brownlee just continuing to make, like every day, it feels like this guy's making a play. But you're right, really good ball from Zach. I'm excited to see how it looks in a game situation on Thursday if we're getting a different version of ZW.
Yeah, 100%. Green Bean, how you feeling about Brownlee?
Well, you know what? Like Matt said, it's seemingly every day he's doing something exciting. And fans, like there was somebody in the chat earlier, he said Brownlee equals Randy Moss. Like, I don't know. I'm not ready for that. But it's going to be really interesting to see him in actual game situations because we've had guys that do this in camp. You know, a couple, Stevie Anderson, David Clowney, like they look really good in camp and they make these highlights and then they get into the games and they can't do anything. So I'm really hoping that this is just the beginning of a sneaky find in the undrafted free agent pool. I mean, look at him, dude. Look at that. Boom.
He's just a monster.
Yeah, I mean, how excited. I mean, if Zach can pull together just an incremental progress and become an NFL quarterback, what a great thing that would be, huh?
Did you know Denzel Mims changed his number from 11 to 16 and stayed on the Jets? And that's what he was supposed to look like?
That's right. This is what they were. This is all they wanted him to do. He wouldn't do it. He said, nope, I'm not doing that. I don't do that.
I'm trying to gaslight Green Bean right now.
Well, did you see the chat was saying if this was Denzel Mims, he'd be going nuts right now. I think he has something. I think he has a little vendetta going against my guy Jason Brownlee because he got his man off the roster.
Well,
that's what I think
let me say this: if it was Denzel Mims' 8th fucking practice, maybe I would be talking the same way. You know what I mean? Like we saw Denzel Mims for a whole rookie season. We saw Denzel Mims do it against the New England Patriots, against the Chargers in real life game situations. So we'll see. You know, again, I like it too, but come on, man. This is practice, what, 9? You know?
Yeah.
Again, what's going on here?
That's all right. I don't think, is that Cap at 31? Who's 31 right now?
I don't even see shoulder pads.
That's fair too. Who is it?
Bless on Austin.
It's Aaron Glenn, dude.
Wait a second.
That's serious, man. He's doing it over Aaron Glenn.
All right, please hold. Well, Cap is 31 on offense, 31 on defense. Don't know. Can't tell you.
We got 99 numbers.
Let's see
it throws me off when they got doubles.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, remember at the practice, it's not easy, man. There are 90 guys. A lot of them you don't know. But how many times did we refer to the roster online? We're like, who the hell's that? Who's that guy? Scott Burke.
We're sitting there, and I'm like, we're looking at Richie like, yo, you know that number? I don't know that number. Who is this?
All right,
Craig
he
James.
just burned, just so we're clear here. Now, it doesn't take away from the catch, right? It's a great catch. But to be clear, he just burned Craig James. Everybody.
Wow.
3 years of experience out
He's
of
great.
Southern Illinois.
Yeah, undrafted free agent, Brownlee. So, you know.
Yeah, well, there's that.
See? Level playing field ish.
I think Craig James was an undrafted free agent too. So there's that.
Exactly. See? Apparently, we were looking
Well-
at Brownlee like in round 6. We had a bunch of.
Well, and
He had a bunch
Craig
of picks.
James hasn't played in the NFL since 2020. So this is his welcome. They're like, hey, Craig, you got to do better, buddy.
I choose to believe alternative facts on this one. I think that was
that's
Sauce
Aaron
wearing a
Glenn.
different
I
number.
like it, right. It's Bless on Austin. That's funny because that's the first person I thought of. That's funny that Matt said that.
I had no. I don't think I could name another 31 on our team. Was Cromartie 31?
Oh, Marty. Yeah.
Okay.
Cromartie.
I think that was Crow.
Anybody remember Lonnie Young, number 31? Where are my old heads out there? Lonnie Young, anybody?
Crossfire just gifted 5 memberships. Jiggaman, Greg. Oh no, Jets forever. Lambda and Andrew.
Good, he deserves it. He hangs out. Hey,
Jets forever's always in here. We like Jets
look
forever.
at this. There's a comment
Even if-
from Paris. Listen to this, guys. Not even Revis would have stopped that completion. That ball was perfectly thrown. That only the Jets wide receiver can catch it. I don't know. Watch it again. If Craig James
that was
would've stuck his hands up.
How
might have
big
stopped.
is James? Like what are we talking about height wise?
Let's see.
Because it's
4'4".
not like he was like away from him. It was
4'4".
He's a little munchkin. God bless his little socks.
have you seen Bryce Young behind center in Carolina?
Oh my gosh.
He looks like a toddler. It's great. If I give Shay a
He's
football,
5
she'll
foot-
be Bryce Young.
Craig James is 5'10". And look, we're not throwing stones at Craig James. He's he's probably very good, but it's not Revis. It's not Sauce. But it's still a great catch. I'm rooting for the guy. I'm real curious. Like in the games, we'll see who steps up. Remember, Irv Charles was having a decent camp last year. Not like this, but Brownlee's having a better camp. But Irv Charles he was making some noise last year. And then he got into the games and he was so bad. Remember, he had like 3 drops in the games. And he just couldn't. I'm surprised he even made it to this camp. But he's having a better camp this year. But he looked so bad, I thought he was just gone. But no, they liked him. So they kept him around. But, you never know.
I
Let's see
hope
if
Brownlee
Brownlee's a
gets
game.
some reps. I have a hard time believing Davis is going to stay healthy the entire year. And if he goes down, I guess it's still Lazard, Garrett, and 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐽. But I would like to see him get some action. I mean, I guess over the preseason is when we have to really pay attention because I shouldn't be saying, oh, I want to see this guy, and then he could be Chancey Stuckey or insert, camp body that does good things, and then Jet fans overrate him. I mean, if you look, you see right there, there's a flag thrown on as well. You see it right at the end there. Boom! Still gets the flag.
What do you
And
get
the
the flag on? I don't see anything.
No, he didn't get the flag. 31 got the flag.
I'm saying, but for what? Where?
He mugged him.
Maybe at the end, a little push in the belly.
Probably had a handful of jersey
Let's take a look.
in
Slow
the
that
front
down,
because the
Ryan.
flag
Slow
goes
it down
from
and zoom it
the
in, man.
center of the field.
Ryan, you got to
It's
slow
some-
it down and zoom it in. Where's your marker? Point to it.
I don't think I can do that. Let me see if I can Whoop, nope. Hold on.
Oh,
I'll
you
catch it the
kinda
next
did.
time. Hold
Did
on.
he?
I'll get it.
See,
There's
Ryan's
probably a
down.
hand on him there.
He's grabbing his face
Right.
mask, clearly. I don't know what he means.
Well, Brownlee did that
He's
to
up there,
Sauce
though, man.
the other
Gotta-
day.
Look at that. He's up there, though. You got to give it to him.
And then watch, right? Oh, where is it? Boom! Laundry on the field. Right on the corner of the side of the screen.
That was from the previous play.
Just a delayed reaction.
Yeah.
Sawyer hops in. Sawyer says, if Brownlee really is a dog, Yeah, if Brownlee really is a dog, ... he'll have a real shot next year with Wilson and Lazard being the only receivers on the roster in 2024. Yeah, 100%. I mean, maybe he can be the replacement for someone like Corey Davis. Jets only have those two guys under contract. I know there's a lot of like speculation, like could there be some type of move for Davante Adams or something like that? That's a lot of resources to allocate. I would love to see. I think my favorite receiver that we've watched in training camp so far, I mean, aside from like Garrett Wilson making some nice catches and whatnot, I really like Mecole Hardman a lot. Green Bean, what are your thoughts on Hardman?
Yeah, I mean, he's making plays, man. He's going to be exciting, dude. I mean, I think he's kind of been under the radar for a lot of this time. We're looking at Wilson. Obviously, there's a lot of Aaron Rodgers focal point, but I think Mecole Hardman has been having a nice camp, and he's super crazy talented. He's another guy that we know exactly what he can do in the NFL. He had the injury, but man, does he look good. And if he stays healthy, he's going to be an X factor this year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a better version of Berrios. And dude, he's blazing fast. I mean, we saw him take the one like quick slant and just put his foot in the ground and get upfield fast. This guy's going to be something special this year. Matt, how you feeling about Mecole?
Yeah, I think he's already kind of getting a connection with Rodgers a little bit. I'm excited for him. He's kind of like a souped-up version of Braxton Berrios, I think. That's a good call. I think he's a better player than what Braxton is, and I think he's going to make some noise and give you some sneaky touchdown production. Like, you're like 5 touchdowns in the 7 games he played, or something. 4 and 7. He had a decent amount of touchdowns in the limited time he played last year. So I think he finds the end zone for the Jets.
Blitz Crew comes in. Let me go back to our little 3-panel here. Blitz Crew says Aaron Glenn was number 31.
Yeah, we said that, Blitz Crew. We're good. Mm-hmm. But do you remember Lonnie Young? I didn't see if anybody. I don't think anybody said it. I don't think anybody remembered.
Ricky says Glenn and Cromartie. I'm glad I remembered Cromartie at least. I would have felt bad if I didn't remember that one. We got Brian. Brian hops in. Brian says, week 5 is the first week that they can flex games. Do you think they flex the Jets Broncos since now they can push a story with it? Interesting. Maybe. I feel like if you look at the slate of games for that week in the 4 o'clock slot, the Jets Broncos game is hands down the best one. Everyone else, I want to say there's 4 other games. And like some of them are just atrociously bad. I think the only other competing one is the Chiefs, but I think it's Chiefs. I don't know who the other team is, but it's not as captivating as Jets Broncos for sure.
No, here are the 4 o'clock games that week. Bengals, Cardinals, blowout Central. Eagles, Rams, blowout Central. Jets, Jets, Broncos. And then Chiefs Vikings is the other one. Which that could
Chiefs Vikings. I think Jets Broncos is a national game. I think Chiefs Vikings is not. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah,
really,
that makes sense.
And then I think some of the West Coast teams are on bye weeks. So I think Seattle's on a bye. I think Chargers maybe. There's there's not a lot of options for the 4 o'clock game. So I think they could keep Jets at 4 o'clock and use another game as the prime time. That would be my guess.
They could flex Monday Night Football, right?
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably.
Because that game sucks this week. It's
really
Packers Raiders.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
is it in Green Bay or is it in Vegas?
Vegas.
Well, dude, what if Jordan Love is an ex-Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy G
stays healthy?
A stud.
Unlikely.
Did he just pass his physical like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, plenty of time.
Studley.
That game stinks.
Hey, dude, I'm just saying, we know Jimmy G, if he's healthy, is a legit quarterback. I mean, we know that.
He is. I do like Jimmy G. I would have been fine with Jimmy G if he was not made out of glass. I'm glad he's in Vegas. And we don't have to go near him.
I did not want... Dude, if we signed Jimmy G, can you imagine the press... If Jimmy G was the guy that we got, and the same exact situation happened here that happened in Las Vegas. Can you imagine?
They're like,
Not good.
you could have had Carr in for a visit. You let him leave, and then you signed Jimmy G. That we would have been raked over the coals for that if we didn't get Rodgers. Bad news. J-Boy hops in. J-Boy's going to be with us. Jets Chargers. Very excited. He says, Week 1, Aaron and Hardman show. I can't wait for Jets Buffalo. It's going to be such a cool game to finally watch. I don't think Buffalo still has not played Breece Hall. I don't think they're going to play him Week 1 either. I think Breece gets the short-term IR. I think he's going to be out for 4 weeks. That's my gut feeling. Matt, how are you feeling about Breece? You think they'll let him play, or you think they're going to bring him along slower?
I think they let him play. I think he's on a pitch count. Like, I don't think he's running 15 plus times, but I think he could play. You know, first month of the season, maybe he's getting 5 to 7 carries a game, and then they ramp him up from there. But I think he's available Week 1.
What about you, Greenman? You think Breece plays Week 1?
I don't know, man. I you know what? If we sign Dalvin Cook, I think Breece is out Week 1. But either way, it makes me nervous. Like, and if he doesn't get to play in some preseason, and I don't know, I just wouldn't like. No matter what, I really hope that he's just 100% and brought up, the right way. Like, I don't want to see him rushed at all. Just to get him in. I want him to play, but I'd say it's 50-50 right now. But my honest vibe is that he's not going to make it Week 1. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that's kind of my gut feeling as well. I mean, if I'm the Jets right now, I'm saying, Breece, we need you for December. Like, I don't give a shit about you right now. Like, when we got nice weather, like, let Rodgers kind of shoulder the load. Let some of the backup running backs kind of take this on. If you can sign Dalvin Cook and you can feed him the ball early, I much rather have Breece at the end of the season than get him back earlier just to have him back. As much as I want to see him on the field.
No, that's totally
It's going to be interesting. Randy23, I see your comment down below. He says, damn, forgot to put a message. Randy, put in a comment. Oh, wait, there it is. Got it. He says, wanted to know your thoughts on people saying McDonald and Tippmann are busts. So I wanted to make a video about Tippmann specifically, not about McDonald. I think McDonald's going to be fine. I think Tippmann's going to be fine, too. I think both of them are going to be fine. If you're a 18-year veteran in the league, 4-time MVP, you're going for a Super Bowl, you probably want someone who's been a center before. I think they're going to try and develop Tippmann. I am a little concerned that it doesn't seem like he's even like first or second right now, but it's still early on in training camp. Remember last year, Breece Hall was behind Michael Carter and Ty Johnson. So it's entirely possible that this flips at some point. But I do think that they're going to bring Tippmann along a little bit slower. This is where the Jets have always wanted to be. You want to get to a point where you have starters in place that you feel comfortable with, and your young guys can learn from those guys and then take over next year. I think that's entirely possible. I would say I'm disappointed that Tippmann hasn't just earned the first team starting center role, but I'm not concerned right now. Matt, I want to hear your thoughts. Shut up.
Yeah, I really had a hard time on the old Bird app or X app, whatever the hell we're calling it these days, and the YouTube comments with people making these declarative statements. At the time, still in July, we were like July 31, and it was going to be a draft pick that would haunt the Jets for a decade. We have no fucking idea about John Michael Schmitz or Joe Tippmann. Neither one of them has played a game yet at this level. I liked JMS. I really did. But like, what are we doing here? It's absolutely insane to me that before they, like, not even a preseason game, forget regular season snaps, they haven't played a goddamn preseason game yet, and we're already saying that it was a mistake or a bad pick. Give me a break, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like if you're looking at Tippmann and you're hearing like all the different, I feel like Sabo mentions it a lot where it's like, oh, for his height, Tippmann is really like doing well. He's staying low. He's like doing all the right stuff in drills and whatnot. I think it's literally just experienced with McGovern was your starter last year. Let's use Tippmann once Rodgers feels comfortable enough. I mean, maybe Rodgers is going to work with him throughout the season. I think I saw somewhere that did Salas say he wants to have a starter at center by the time the Panthers game either is or is over, which is a week from this upcoming Saturday. Green Bean, your thoughts on Tippmann and McDonald?
I mean, dude, he's been given enough time to prove himself. He's a bust. We should cut him as soon as possible. That's what we do. You know what's funny? There was some good stuff on Twitter today. There were guys. I think it was you that put out. Who was the guy calling a bust? One of the guys that were calling Tippmann a bust on Twitter. You screenshotted something.
Yeah, Joe and Clark, very, very smart guy. Very smart guy who also had a tweet saying that they have the Jets taking Sauce at 4. If they do that, I'm done with this team. Done. So I said, I thought you were done with the team. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just a funny thing how, I mean, you want to talk about overreacting, man. I mean, this is probably way up there with the extreme opinions. I mean, would we have loved that he came into camp and just dominated? Of course. But again, it's not, we're in the second week of training camp. The good news with Tippmann, and we have all kinds of videos to support this, Tippmann was the first guy out when we were there working. He's the last guy off the field. You know, like you hear that all the time. First guy in, last guy out. It really is him. Like he's out there on the field first, and he stays after to work on stuff. He's just working it out, man. You know, that's it. If he's not ready to start at the beginning of the season or whatever, so be it. Again, we would like him to be able to start. But if he's not, that's why we got Connor McGovern back here. And we also have Wes Schweitzer. I mean, you know, granted, I would probably not want to see Wes Schweitzer he might be the guard. I guess
he was taking like first team reps this past week, and I didn't like that. I heard he screwed up 2 shotgun snaps, I think, on Rodgers.
Yep. Yeah, I'd rather not see him. But it's the same thing like with Becton. Like, you know, they came out those, you know, articles. He's playing with the third team. It's like, can you just give it a second? Like, there's a whole process here. You know, working guys in. You got a rookie, and on one hand, and in Becton's case, you got a guy who hasn't played in 2 years, coming off a knee, multiple knee injuries. Like they're working them in. You know, like let them do what they do. And there's also motivational tactics. You know, like, hey man, you're not doing it. You got to do better than that in order to break the lineup. And like let them know they're not going to be handed anything. I think that side of things is very positive. You don't want a guy just because he was the first center taken in the draft automatically starting. You know, you have to earn it. You got to beat out Connor McGovern. He's been think what you want about him. You know, there are guys that hate him, guys that love him. Think what you want, but he's been an NFL starter for years. And he's been a center for the last 5 years in the NFL starting. So you got to beat that guy out. And that could be the whole plan. You know, they're saying, it doesn't look like he'll start. And who knows what the real reasons are. Let's get past the second week of training camp before we label guys busts. Don't forget, man, there was a whole slew of Jets fans that even after rookie year and second year, they wanted to get rid of Quinnen. I mean, this is real. Get rid of him. He's a bum. Take what you can get. He's never going to be this.
They would trade him to Atlanta, I think was a popular sentiment at one point. Like,
yeah.
People can't wait. We need immediately gratification.
Yeah, we got to remember that, like, it takes a minute sometimes. This is the NFL, guys. You know, it takes a minute. Tippmann's going to be fine. He was a very, very strong pick. Now, if we're being completely frank, I wanted John Michael Schmitz too. You know what I mean? That was the guy. When he was there, I thought he was 100% going to be a Jet. They chose Tippmann. It was a solid pick, no matter how you slice it. He was one of the guys that most of us liked. And if it takes him a say, even if John Michael Schmitz ends up starting, and Tippmann doesn't right away, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't signify their career. Like, I can't even believe that we're having this kind of a conversation out there. I mean, right now, we're talking about it, but like that it's real. People are legitimately considering him a bust already.
Well, you're talking about Jets Giants, right? Like, just go back and see the reverse, right? Like, we saw Becton dominate year one, and Andrew Thomas looked awful his first year. He had a ton of penalties, a ton of like blown blocks, and then all of a sudden now he's getting like the highest left tackle contract that we've seen. Like, just wait a second, let guys develop. And I think I don't have any concerns with Tippmann at this point in time. I'm pretty sure, did Sauce not start? I mean, he obviously started week one, but I don't know if he was penciled in as the starter in training camp initially either. I think that this is kind of like par for the course.
That's correct. It took him a little bit. But I don't remember the first official depth chart, but remember it was the whole like, oh, Sauce is going to have to earn it. Like, he's not going to be given this starting job. He's competing for a spot in camp, and we're all like, yeah, that's really funny. But he might not have been a starter on the first depth chart.
Yeah. Ron Weiss comes in. Ron says Brownlee hurt his shoulder on that play and left the field, came back, though. Oh, I didn't know that. I was only watching the highlight, and I was like trying to get some more tissues out so I could just keep watching the highlight. Wink, wink. Crossfire comes in, says, forget the 2023 Jets team. You three are the dream team. Jet the F up. Oh, Crossfire.
Let's go.
Crossfire's the GOAT. Love it. Got Doug hopping in. Doug says, let O'Leary cook. O'Leary getting fired up during our last question. I believe that was it running backs or wide receivers? Which I don't remember what topic we were on when Doug said this.
We were talking about Joe Tippmann being a bust already.
That's right. Baloney. So much baloney. Could open a deli.
Yeah.
Got Scott in here. Scott says, maybe because I'm old school, but I think it's a stupid narrative that all these players taken need to start right away. That is not the case at all. So the reason why people are so critical of the rookies and them needing to start is because of the value of the contract. When you're talking about the teams that wind up winning like Super Bowls or go far in playoffs, it's when they have starters at very cheap contracts. And it's more so for like the beginning few rounds, like first, second, third round picks are kind of, you're hoping that they get the start or play significant playing time. In the past, you'd have a guy like Sam Bradford that gets a monster contract and they're just going to give this guy plenty of time. And it was a little slower of a development process because you're like, okay, we're paying him a ton of money. We're going to let him develop. Whereas now you want to see them perform right away. And if they're not going to perform right away, now you can, put someone else in there a little bit quicker. So it's a little bit different because of the CBA and the rookie pay scale. But I agree. I think having rookies start right away, that's where the Jets got in trouble all the time. How many times did we go into drafts over the last 10, 15, 20 years where we're like, oh, we need a left tackle, but, we should totally draft this developmental tackle in the first round and let's take him and plug him in as our starter day one. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, why is this guy getting beat up left, right, and center? Like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's because we didn't let him develop. You see 𝐒RMAIN Johnson looks like he's about to fucking break out this year, and he sat behind JFM, behind Carl Lawson, behind Bryce Huff, and now he looks like he is ready to go off. And I think that's the style of development that you would like to see. Let them learn from the players in front of them. If Tippmann has to learn how to play from McGovern, I'm okay with that. I don't need to rush Tippmann into this starting role. Matt, what are your thoughts about having players taken needing to start right away?
I think it depends. Like, there's some obviously someone who's a top 5 pick, there's going to be more pressure on them to start and play right away, unless maybe it's a quarterback and you want to have them sit and then they come into play. But moral of the story is I do think that there are unrealistic expectations sometimes put on these kids. And 𝐒RMAIN Johnson, someone you mentioned, is the perfect example of it. He kind of flew under the radar because of how good Garrett, Sauce, and Brees were in their first year. That's so rare for someone to come into the league and be that good right away. Usually it takes a little bit. So I don't know. I think you need to give some guys a little bit of time. It took Quinnen a few years, as a top 3 pick to come in and establish himself. And now he's one of the league's best interior players. Like, I just think we need to be a little bit more patient sometimes with these people.
Greenbean, how are you feeling about drafting players and feeling the need to start them right away?
Well, I think what you said before about the contract, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. And that's why, like a lot of time you'll see guys that are super crazy talented and you get them in the third or whatever, second, third, fourth round. A lot of that is because it's not that they're less talented than the guys you're taking up front. It's that they more than likely need a little bit, right? So as they slide down the rounds, a lot of the times the guys are just as impressive, but they have some raw aspects to them. They need a minute to work on something. They need a year in the strength program or whatever it is. They can be just as good at prospects. You look all over the league, like especially when we're talking about offensive line, there are third, fourth, fifth rounders that when they get to their free agent contract, Jets fans, myself included, are like, oh, we got to get that guy in free agency. He was a fifth round pick 4 years ago. But it's like it takes time for them to actually get out of the draft, get out of school, and hit the ground running. In the NFL, it just takes a minute. They're not ready to start right away. That's why, when you wonder sometimes like who they're using first round picks on, a lot of the time it's the guy that, when compared to another player that might be equally athletic or what have you, it's a lot of the time the guy that you think is going to give you the most impact in that first contract or the first 2 years, because that's the value of having that first round draft pick. Not that we'll have one next year, of course. That's going to be new for us, not having a first round pick. But yeah, I think like when you talk about Tittman, yes, he was a high second round pick. Again, would we want him to be blowing up the earth right now? Of course we would. We don't want to not say that. But again, it's no real concern. And look, by the time the season rolls around, who knows? Maybe he is the starter. We don't know anything of what Salah's doing right now and what the real motivation is and what they're really working on. Maybe he's got a little finger thing that he touches Aaron Rodgers' hand when he snaps it and he doesn't like it. They're working on his middle finger. And I mean, who knows what it is, right? We don't know what it is. So I think patience we got to make it past 2 weeks, guys, before we start saying the word bust. 1 year I thought was a little bit much. 2 weeks, we got to make it past 2 weeks, everybody.
So Slugo drops in. He says, why do you guys freeze each other? They don't freeze each other. I have the power. I have the control. I freeze them when I want to.
Motherfucker.
I'm power hungry. No, you guys actually, so chat, for those of you that are new to the channel, you guys get the opportunity to freeze one of the three of us. If you send in a $20 super chat and you want to get your question heard and you don't like what one of us said, you can absolutely put a little snowflake and then one of our names and we'll freeze that person for a minute and you get put in a timeout like these two fine gentlemen right here. I see Capo in here says, just subscribed, loved you guys, go Jets. So Capo, I see your super chat, so I'm going to get to that, but I'm curious, do you subscribe to us individually, Jets Talk 24/7, Green Bean Jets fan, Matt O'Leary, and did you know who we were before, or are you just finding this channel now and getting introduced to the three of us? Because I'd love to hear that. That's always fun to hear. But his super chat says, love the channel, let's effing go Jets, excited and ready. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Cap. Let's see, I had another one in here. Ray hops in. Says, hey guys, great job. I think if Dalvin Cook was going to sign with Miami, he would have scheduled a visit with them by now. No, Cook is a Jet tomorrow. I would say this. It takes two to tango. So Miami could schedule him for a interview. He could request an interview, I guess, but I don't know if Miami didn't actually want him, then it's still in Miami's court. I would say there's no rush for Dalvin Cook to sign. I think it would be to his benefit to wait until there's an injury to someone major on one of the teams. I mean, heck, Seattle's like dropping running backs like flies. Maybe there's a situation where they're like, hey, yo, Dalvin Cook, maybe we can snag him and his price gets elevated just a little bit more. Because of the running backs that are out there, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, I would say Cook is probably the consensus number one running back available. So if he waits and a team is desperate that feels like they can win, like if Joe Mixon goes down or if, I don't know. I mean, plug in whatever running back you feel on a contender is available. If they have the cap space to sign Dalvin Cook, it's to his benefit to wait. So
Yeah, what about the Colts?
Yeah, well, the Colts too, right? Like that's what it was. So the Colts lost, what was it Zach Moss? Was that right?
Yeah.
And Jonathan Taylor's requesting a trade. I would be surprised if they signed a pseudo high priced running back and like had Jonathan Taylor, who's also looking for a contract, unless they trade him, of course. If they trade him, then it's a different story. Matt, I see you smiling. You got anything to say about the running back situation and Dalvin Cook potentially being a Jet versus being a Dolphin?
Yeah, I think he is waiting because he's not going to be RB1 with the Jets. That's going to be Breece Hall. So maybe he wants that opportunity to be that lead back. And that's what he's holding out, the hope for. But it feels like it's just between the Jets and the Dolphins. It would be, I think, a surprise at this point if a third team or a random team came in and got in the mix. But we're going to start getting preseason games soon. And, if there's injuries, then, maybe that opens up a spot for someone else.
Green Bean, how you feeling about Miami and Cook potentially, or Jets and Cook?
What do you think? I'll tell you what I saw on Twitter. Somebody was, I guess berrios made a catch in Miami, not to divert from Cook, but I have a feeling that's where he's going to end up. I thought that he was going to sign when he was here, but I don't know. Every day feels like less likely. But there was Berrios made a nice catch in practice, and I guess he juked a few guys that weren't trying to tackle him. And the Miami thread was hilarious. They were talking about him being better than Garrett Wilson. And that he's going to have a better season than Garrett Wilson. And look, I like Berrios, and I think Berrios is a talented player, right? I'm really hoping that whatever yips he got last year follows him to Miami, because that would be nice. But dude, Miami fans are the funniest.
Dude, I'm getting inundated. Anytime I post like a video tweet from training camp, like the Patriot fans, but specifically the Dolphins fans, not so much the Bills or Patriots, but Dolphins fans are like, they got some sort of Napoleon complex going on with Tua and whatnot. And Green Bean, I know you gotta hop for a second, so I'm gonna freeze you. Boom, frozen. But Matt, so have you been inundated in your DMs with division rivals who are salty about the Jets, Rodgers, maybe Garrett Wilson, all that sort of stuff? How are you feeling about our division rivals and how they're feeling about our team?
Yeah, they are hashtag jealous, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't feel very good. Or I guess, when the team that's always the punching bag starts to get good, I could understand why you're concerned about losing that, that fight to your little brother. But, we're the one on the come up right now, so they're going to have to deal with it. But I think a lot of it has to do with nerves, because they're not ready for the Jets to be back.
I love it. Capo says he is subscribed to all three of us. So I love that. Good, Capo. We like seeing that.
Thank God.
Lambda says, I found Ryan, loved the Snoopy hat, then watched the panel, then subbed to the boys Matty Ice and String Bean. Love it. Love it. Good. Dano is asking, is there a giveaway tonight? There's absolutely going to be a giveaway. I think Green Bean is is taking care of that for us as far as doing the winner stuff. Actually, Nightbot never pulled up, so I guess it's going to be super chats and then like random people. Randy23 says, Ryan, why can't I find how to become a member? So you can click in the description of this video. There's a link to channel memberships, or you can go to our homepage on YouTube, and there's a little join button at the top of the page. If you'd like to join our OnlyFans, for those of you guys that don't know, there's the flight crews. There's on my channel I have the economy class, first class, all that good stuff, frequent flyer. But over here, you got to join our OnlyFans, and if you want to be an OnlyFan, you got to subscribe to OnlyFans to know what type of exclusive content you might be getting. So Randy, click on that join button. Matt, what kind of crazy stuff we doing on our OnlyFans?
We have slight issue that I want to bring to your attention as the tech person. In the description, it says click for membership coming soon. There's no link.
Oh, never mind. It's not in the description because I definitely copy and pasted our description from the last few weeks, and I totally forgot to update it. That's an
is
oops.
quite okay. Yes, but just wanted to make that aware. There should be a join button somewhere on your screen for you to tap into. Usually, it's right next to the sub button. But on the OnlyFans, yeah, I was on with proud NY Jets fan and Jeremy earlier today, and they were saying since I'm the tallest Jets content creator, that I should be the centerfold of this Jets calendar we do. Really boosted my ego to hear that I should be the one to grace the centerfold. But yeah, I said I'm down. Whatever pose you need, whatever we're looking to do, count me in.
I love it. We've been talking about doing a calendar, like a dirty Jet content creator calendar, and Green Bean's going to be Santa in December. I don't know what I'll be, but yeah, do we have 12? We probably have 12 people. We could probably find it. Or maybe it's just the three of us across 12 months.
Yeah, 4 times.
That way.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that would make sense. 4 times we could be in like group photos possibly. I'm the shortest of the 3, so does that make me February? It might. I could put some little Cupid wings on and a little heart.
Yeah,
the arch, the bow.
Bow and arrow. I love it.
Blitzcrew says, great reason to have an OnlyFans. Hit that like button. Thank you, Blitzcrew. Blitzcrew is a part of our OnlyFans. That's the greatest name for a channel membership.
He's giving them out like candy, the OnlyFans subscriptions. He's just tossing them out.
Seriously. Yeah, Crossfire's like, everyone wants to see Ryan's nudes. Wait a second. What? No, huh? I saw Dane O was like, there's not enough feet pics in here. I had to unsubscribe.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. I'm Metch. Comes in, says, with the concern at safety, what are the thoughts on bringing back Will Parks? I think he was pretty good last year when he was given the opportunity. So I'm actually not as concerned with safety anymore because of the emergence of Tony Adams. I think with him, Whitehead, and then you have Amos and, oh God, it's not Davis. Is it? Is Davis the 4th one? No, there's another one. The kid we drafted,
no.
Converse.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Dean, but that makes sense too.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm okay at safety. I'm actually feeling a lot more comfortable at safety than I was like a week ago even. Like just watching Adams play, this guy's good. He's real good. Matt, what are your feelings on the safety position right now?
Yeah, I'm really not all that surprised with how Tony Adams has played, that the Jets didn't go out there and add more at the safety position. I think this was their plan all along. They made it very well known. It was the worst kept secret that they loved Tony Adams, and they're giving him the opportunity. He was listed as the starting free safety on the first depth chart. We'll see if that holds true to start the season, but it's again, it's pretty obvious. They really like this kid. They're going to give him an opportunity. I liked Will Parks. I thought he was pretty good in spurts last year, but I don't think they have the roster space for it.
Holy smokes. Look at Knobcraft. Let me pull it up. Where'd he go? Oh. Bam! Knobcraft. Dropping 10 Talkin' Jets memberships. Look at how many OnlyFans subscribers we just got. Tony, Harris, Randy, Love Bites, Racing, Jade, Kelvin, Fungus. Fungus Among Us is already a member. Jeffrey, Alan, Aaron. Make sure you check out those new emojis you guys just got. Thank you so much, Knobcraft. You are far too generous.
Wow.
Let me give you another JETS just for that.
Yes.
Incredible. Joe M hops in with us. Says, did y'all see on the Pat McAfee show that Cook or his agent possibly talking crap about the Jets? Do you guys have any more info on this? I did not see that. I did see that his agent said something about like, we out or something along those lines. And it's like, well, yeah, you're out of New York because Cook didn't want to sign a contract the same day anyway. He told us 2 days earlier. Like, I don't think they're talking shit about the Jets, but I also did not see the clip that Joe M is referring to. Matt, did you see this clip?
So I believe the tweet was from the trainer, and it was saying that apparently Dalvin Cook didn't like his visit with the Jets, which I don't know how true or reliable that is. That might have just been to stir the pot and get some Jet fans upset. So I don't want to take that as a definite, but it's a wait and see. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that's a weird thing for his trainer to say, like, oh, he didn't like his visit with the Jets, which completely kneecaps his leverage against Miami if that's where he ultimately wants to be. Like, yeah, no, I want our guy that I'm training right now to take less money from Miami because I'm openly gonna tell everyone that he didn't like the Jets visit. Fuck off. There's no way. There's no way that he was at training camp on Sunday and didn't love the atmosphere. Our fan base was electric. That was the most fun I've ever had at camp. So there's no way.
No, it was really, and that's exactly what it was, by the way. It was his, the trainer said that he was talking trash about the Jets visit. I don't know.
Oh, he said Cook was talking trash about the Jets visit. Really?
To this trainer, allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
But,
if that's allegedly true, then I'm going to allegedly say, fuck Dalvin Cook. Screw that guy.
Well,
but I don't think it's true.
No, I don't buy it either.
Chris comes in. Chris says, flying into Jersey from San Diego to watch the home opener. We have a great fan group in San Diego. Y'all need to come visit sunny San Diego. Unfortunately, you guys don't have a franchise over there anymore. So we can't go out and see a Chargers-Jets game in San Diego anymore. But yeah, dude, I want to go out to California. I want to see some nice stuff out there. I've always heard San Diego is really nice.
Really? Yeah, I would love to get out there. I haven't been to California, but I'm in.
Johnny says Spicy Jake on the calendar. Yeah, we could do all the content creators, and I wonder what do you think? What month do you think Jake would want? I wonder what I don't know what his birthday is.
I don't know. I feel bad friend. I don't know what his birthday is, but
I'll be honest, Matt. I have no idea when yours or Green Bean's birthday is either. I'm a horrible friend if that's the case. Do you know when my birthday is?
I want to say March.
Wrong.
Okay, so now I don't feel bad. What is it?
It's November 4th. It's 2 days before our Talkin' Jets ticket game.
Very good. Mine is April 21st. It's usually the week right before the draft.
Oh, I can remember that. That's going to be an easy one. 420 plus 1.
Yeah.
Matt O'Leary.
The day after. Exactly.
I love it. 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞 says, if O'Leary gets centerfold, it was my idea. So you get
it might have been 𝐒𝐿𝐞𝐞. Maybe that's who it was in the chat that brought it up. I apologize. I forget who I did forget who it was, but it's 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞. That's where it started from.
Centerfold. So there's not really a centerfold in a calendar though. It's more like centerfold in like a magazine. That's where that's from, right? Like a Penthouse or a Playboy
like the
or something
Playboy,
like that.
baby. Yeah, I want to pop out. I want to be the poster.
I was gonna say you could be 3 pages long. You flip out and have that framed. Perfect. I'd have a framed O'Leary on my wall. Tigo joins the OnlyFans. Tigo wants feet pics. You pervert. Oh, I love it. Tigo and I will be at week 1. We're excited.
There you go.
Eric says, another Cali Jets fan here. I love being a Jets fan in LA because it's the few of us against the world with constant trays talking loud and proud, baby. So I wonder if, what's the most popular LA team out there? Is it is it Chargers? Is it Rams? Is it Raiders to some degree?
I would think it's the Raiders still.
Yeah, I feel like that's where it would be. LA strikes me as a city without a team almost. Like you'll see a lot more fans of other teams.
They have too, but I don't. Now, Eric could obviously clarify, but I don't think the people of LA were like, "Oh my God, yes, I can't wait for the Rams or the Chargers to get here, and I'm gonna now be a Rams or a Chargers fan."
That makes sense. Tigo says, Ryan, your birthday being the 4th is crazy. Mine is the 3rd. Tigo and I have way too many life events linked up. Like his son was born the week before Shay. We both have. He's got a son. I have a daughter that had due dates within 2 days of one another, and now mine's coming next week, and his is coming the end of August, and then now we find out that my birthday is 1 day off of Tigo's. Far too many life events with us.
Way too many.
Scott says Green Bean needs to be in a Speedo in December. So Green Bean, red Speedo with Santa hat on for our calendar.
Done. Why
Eric
not?
chimes in. He says, LA fans aren't Chargers and Rams as much as they are Raiders and San Fran fans. Yeah, I was gonna say Raiders feel like the most. I didn't even think of San Fran out there, but that makes sense.
LA fans. Dude, how long do you think? I say this all the time. I can't even say Los Angeles Chargers. I say San Diego every time, right?
Oh, screws
But
me
how
up.
long
I
do you
say
think
Oakland Raiders a lot too. Like
Oh,
it's not
totally.
just the LA team.
But LA, we don't know about Vegas. I mean, Vegas is a weird place. But how LA can't keep teams. Nobody gives a shit in LA. So how long do you think these teams stay there? I mean, especially the Chargers. I mean,
that's a basketball and baseball city for sure.
definitely right. Dodgers and
Dodgers,
obviously the
Lakers.
Lakers. And then you got the Clippers too. The Clippers are the poor Jets of LA.
That's
You know what I mean?
every time I see the Clippers like have some sort of headline like that, I was like, yo, I could sympathize. I get it. I'm not gonna rag on you.
Yeah,
It
right.
just sucks.
It's like whenever they're good, it's so funny, man. Like whenever they're good, I think, Clippers fans, they're just like us. They're believing. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't feel like the same way with the LA teams, like with the Chargers and the Rams. Like I don't get the same vibe as Jets Giants, probably because they're both so new to the LA area.
Yeah.
That like it just feels. I mean, not that the Rams necessarily are new to the area, but
Well, the Rams are back.
the Rams
Yeah,
are back.
that's it.
Exactly.
The city already didn't want them. Then they wanted them back. They won't want them again.
It'll
A couple
change.
more years of last year. Ain't nobody gonna be there.
Eric's upset. He says, "Please don't compare the Jets to the sorry ass Clippers." Sorry, dude.
You know what I mean? I mean, in general, it's like, I don't know the specifics. I haven't watched basketball in a minute. I'm really trying to coax myself back into basketball. I was a die-hard Nets fan for many. I mean, dude, through their worst years, I was I would go to like 10 games a year, 10 games a year at least. And then, when the Nets were so bad, so I would watch the Knicks, and I fell in love with the Patrick Ewing Knicks, and I went to a bunch of their games. I mean, I watched almost every single Knicks game during the Patrick Ewing era. That was when I was drinking too, so it was like I needed a reason to go to the bar, and the Knicks were on all the time, baby. So it was great. But like Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley and all those guys, Stark, that team was great. But yeah, I got out of it, and I found it difficult to get back in. You know what I mean? It's hard to re-engage and not knowing.
I was gonna say I'm such a bad New York sports fan. Like I know a lot about the Jets and the Giants, but like outside of football, I'm really not like super well versed in like baseball, hockey, basketball. I need to get better at that sort of stuff. Like if I had to pick teams, I'm probably gonna pick. It's probably a coin flip between Yankees and Mets. I consider myself more of a Yankees fan just because I've been to more games. But my dad was a Mets fan. I've been to like a few Mets games as well. I've never been to Citi Field. I would consider myself a Knicks fan for basketball and then a Rangers fan for hockey.
There you go.
You're all the anti-O'Leary. I told you guys, I was a big Islanders fan for a minute. If somebody asks me, I say I'm an Islanders fan. Not that I watch anymore. I would like to, though. But I was big into the Islanders for years. I told you guys why, right? It was when Dennis Bird got paralyzed they put the 90 sticker on their helmet. That was it, dude. I was you want to talk about die hard? I read every article. I went to a few games in Nassau Coliseum. It was like a 3, 4, 5 year period where I watched, I don't know, most of their games. Loved it.
When they were god awful in the mid '90s.
Well, they were good though. They had a couple good years. They made it deep into like the second round of the playoffs. You know what I mean? They were good. You remember a name Darius Kasparaitis?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it was that era.
Benoit Hogue.
Right, and then we had Scott Healy and Pierre Turgeon, all those guys. But it was fun, man. And the Yankees. I go to Yankees.
See, I grew up when I was like 96 was when I was like 6 years old. So like all my friends in the area were Yankees fans, and that's when like Rivera and Jeter and everyone started like, coming into the league, and everyone was getting excited and whatnot. And the Yankees were a juggernaut for that, I don't know, was it 5-year stretch in the late 90s?
Yeah, that was great. Those were good times.
G hops in, says Cook's agent said you'll see when asked if he was going to sign. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a no to me. Feel like you would say something else if it was a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's what so that's the agent, not the trainer, right? So maybe
there's got to be some sort of confusion going on right now with what's actually real. I don't buy the trainer story, like we were saying,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that would make a whole lot of sense. Like, if I was Dalvin Cook and that trainer put that out there, I would not use that trainer anymore because he's costing me money.
Yeah.
Just kneecap yourself.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put too much into this, G. Any agent worth their salt is going to know how to answer questions non-committally. You know what I mean? They're not going to give you anything unless it's to their benefit. You know what I mean?
Blitzcrew hops in, says, sometimes I see Jets fans as the hipsters of football. We liked them before it was cool. Yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like. All the people in the chat right now, or I would say most of them, a solid 95% were hanging out with us when we were like a shit team. And then we'll get some bandwagoners that I'm like, come on, let's go. I'm all about having more fans on this team. Green Bay fans, come on over. Come on down. Anyone else? Bandwagon's got plenty of space.
Does it, though?
It does on my watch. Absolutely. I don't care. Like, there's going to be a little bit of saltiness that I see when I see, like, friends of mine who have never openly rooted for the Jets over the last 15 years. Like, that's more irritating to me than, like, people that are, like, passive fans. And I know that, they fall into the same camp. But, like, I mean, I fall into the same camp in other sports. So you're talking baseball, basketball, hockey. I mean, if they're bad, I'm not watching. I barely watch when they're good. So, I understand the mindset if you're not if you're more of a casual fan. But I like the bandwagoners. Come on. The last time the Jets were good in 2011 or 10 or whatever it was electric to see all the Jet hats and jerseys around the city and everything. Matt, how you feeling about the bandwagoners?
If you didn't watch Frank Gore run up the A-gap 200 times in 2020, you ain't welcome in my club, right, Green Bean?
That's a great pull, too, man. Right. If you weren't distraught, like in your soul, by Adam Gase's intro press conference, then we don't want you here. You haven't earned it, man. If that didn't break your heart, seeing those friggin' creepy eyes, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle, though. You know what I mean? Like, you want your team to kind of earn new fans, and that's how it happens, right? Like Rex Ryan was the last kind of era that brought over a bunch of new folks, young especially, but I'm with it, man. It's like, fuck you. You know what I mean? You don't get to hang out and root for the Rams and the Chiefs and then the Jets, and now you're here with us and we're high-fiving. Like every high-five in the stadium, I'm going to be like, How long you been here? Are you worth my high-five, you bastard?
These things are in limited supply.
Right, I only have so many.
Not so much. My kid will give high fives to everyone. Like, no joke.
All right,
kid loves high fives.
That damn right she does. That's the best damn thing going, man. Kids high fives. I love it.
She's like finally saying like hi and dada. And it's incredible. It's awesome.
I love it.
Blitzcrew comes in. He says, how about the bandwagoners in the area that were Patriot fans up until recently and now are Jet fans? If we can convert Patriot fans to Jet fans, I mean, I don't dislike it, but there's like some sort of sacrilegious like part of me that's like, hey, well, like you can't like Tom Brady and what he did to us for 20 years and then come over here and like us as soon as Aaron Rodgers is quarterback. Like that's irritating, I think.
Dude,
Matt,
that's like the guy who your wife left you for. Coming over
friends with them
and with a six-pack.
Hey, it's not that bad. I like hanging out with her still.
It's like the guy.
Yeah.
Your wife. Find out your wife's been, going to the gym, and really what she's been doing is going to Jim's house, and so technically she's not lying.
I almost spit my beer all over my computer.
And then Jim comes over with a six-pack after she leaves him. Hey, buddy.
Oh my God.
Like, get out of here. Get out of my house. You don't go, all right, he's got beer. You know?
Yeah, it's like getting cuckolded and becoming friends with the guy. I'm out on that. I'm out on that.
Right.
I don't think I'm as aggressive, but the Patriots side of things, I don't think you could do that. You can't like a division rival and then come over. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Not good.
Well, now, see, you got to be careful, though, too, Ryan, because they'll come at us as Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a Bucks fan. Like, how long?
That's fine.
4 years.
I feel like. I'm okay
Do
with
you know
Bucks
who
fans.
Mike
I enjoyed Tom when he went to Tampa Bay. And I fucking hated Tom forever. Like, I did not want to see him win a ring, but, like, he was a totally different person, not under Belichick.
Ryan, freeze Ryan.
Yeah.
Boom. There he goes. What is this madness?
I did not want the Tampa Bay Bucks to have any success. I was disappointed when they won the Super Bowl in 2020.
Dude, I wanted nothing more than for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to melt. That's what I wanted. Every game they won, every touchdown that was thrown killed me a little bit inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when they started to get good again and their defense was so good, it's like, see, the Jets were dumb to move on from Todd Bowles. Look what he could do when they put talent around him. Meanwhile, Tom Brady had to drag his lifeless corpse to a 9-8 record last year. And it's like, I don't know. They're like, imagine being down 10 points with Tom Brady in the early fourth quarter and punting. And we're like, yeah, we've seen that shit for 4 years. Like we lived it. We tried to tell you this guy was ultra conservative as a head coach, but no, it was the Jets' fault.
Yeah, I'm with it. That was right. It's like we had to fend that stuff off. Not only were we watching Tom Brady win again, but we had to watch it with Todd Bowles, and we had to eat all those phantom shit sandwiches that Todd Bowles was somehow a great coach that we let go. Oh my God, Ryan!
I didn't buy that for a second. I mean, as soon as Tom left and went down there, and it was like, okay, they're winning. I mean, it sucks seeing like Todd Bowles' defense do really well. There's some guys that are just not good head coaches. Wade Phillips, not a good head coach. Great defensive coordinator. It happens. Vic Fangio, not a great head coach. Good defensive coordinator. You could argue Rex Ryan, great defensive coordinator. Aside from 2 years with us, maybe not a great head coach. He went to Buffalo with a great defense and turned it into not a great defense.
Yeah.
Chris Nelson. Well, go on.
Let me just say one more thing. Sorry. We'll honor Chris in a second. Todd Bowles was the head coach there for 1 year and fired the entire offensive staff.
Classic.
He's now on his 5th offensive coordinator, is 6 years as a head coach in the NFL. 5 offensive coordinators in 6 years. What's the matter with this guy?
It's throwing people under the bus. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yet Casey Rodgers, who sucks the biggest of balls, is Todd Bowles' best friend, and never even gets looked at as a potential problem. Never.
No.
Oh yeah. Chris comes in and says, "I'm coming over as a Packers fan." Chris, welcome to the good side of
Chris?
fandom. What do you think about Jets fandom right now? I don't mind you coming over.
Yeah, what does he think about the 35 mil and all a lot of Packers fans are upset.
I would bet they'd be upset. I mean, I think that just highlights, how irritated Rodgers was. And I think if he wanted to be in Green Bay, I don't know if he just didn't trust Green Bay to do what Tampa Bay did with Tom and surround him with talent. And he's like, screw it. I'm going to get the most money possible, and then I'm going to be able to force my way out. Eventually, who knows when that's going to be? I mean, maybe he knew it was going to be after a year. I don't know. But I think I would be a little salty seeing him take $35 million less to surround him with talent, because I think he trusts the Jets to do that, though. That's the whole, piece of this. Matt, how are you feeling about the Packers? Green Bean, you go first, then Matt.
I'm sorry, please. I keep jumping the shark here.
That's all right. I always cut you off, so it's a little bit of justice there.
You know how many DMs I get about that, Ryan?
I hope not too many. I have gotten like 2. They're like, "You always talk over Green Bean." I was like, "I'm sorry, it's passion." I didn't.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
intentional.
I get it's not. I mean, it's not like hundreds or anything, but I get a few every time. It's funny.
Damn.
Like I
I'm
know,
just an
dude. I
asshole.
said, why don't you guys fucking call that guy?
Guy's an idiot.
Oh,
No, I'm,
I'm calling that myself, not you.
Oh, okay, that I agree with. But what were we saying? Something. What were we saying?
We were talking about
did you
Packers
hear
fans.
Did you hear what Aaron Rodgers said about his money with that lady? He said, "I get paid a lot of money. I'm very happy with my contract. I'm
I
very
definitely did
happy
not
with the
see that.
money I make. It's fine." You hear that?
that's good.
I did not, but I love hearing it.
He's like,
Dano.
like you gave $35 million back. He's like, dude, I'm fine. I'm very happy with the money I make. I get to make a lot of money. I'm fine.
Dano
That's great.
comes in. If you didn't live in Pittsburgh country back in 2005 for the Doug Bryan screw up or screw job, get the F off my lawn. Only room for one true New York Jets fan here. Gotta go, fellas. Dude, I remember I was at the Armory in the city. I was running a track meet in high school, and it was like me and a few other buddies. In between races, we have like an AM FM radio, and we're listening to it, and we're like, the kick goes up. We're like, oh, we're going to the next round. Doug Bryan missed it wide left. I'm like, what did he miss?
Twice.
3 kicks that game? Twice?
I think it was two, but it was
And
two
it was
for
Santana
the win.
Moss that returned the kick, I think, right?
Yeah,
that
he
right?
could have won the game twice. That was the problem. At least that's how I remember it. Somebody can correct me, but
No, you're right.
and one was a doink, right? He hit the uprights.
It was it was the bottom bar, I believe.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
came right down. I'll
Doink.
never
That
forget
was
that.
brutal.
The next day in school, there was a kid in my class who was a Colts fan and was like, "Oh, draw a picture of what you did over the weekend." And he drew the picture of the ball coming off the upright. It was like, I watched the Jet game with my dad. I'm like, you are the biggest tool in the world. I hate your guts.
Yeah, it's a bad kid.
Tell-
I hope he
hate
burns
him
his
too.
tongue on some hot coffee.
Yeah,
I don't know
That's
who
right.
it is.
I wonder what he's doing right now.
20 years later, burned into our memory bank. People
I'll
don't
never
forget.
forget
wondering-
that.
Yeah, people don't
He's
forget. Super
wondering-
bad. That's what happens.
Well, think about this. Right now, he's wondering why his owner is such an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, dude, talk about Irsay just fucking running his mouth. What a dipshit. I mean, he's one of the
Irsay's
weirdest.
drinking again.
That doesn't surprise me at all. You don't say that unless you're like a moron.
Well,
Yeah,
you know, and I saw some, I forget what show, but they talked about it. They said, you know, we've known for a long time that owners think this way, like about players. Like this is the whole thing. Like when we get on the players for like, you know, holding out, trying to get their max contract and all that shit. Like, yes, we want them to be on the team. We get upset, you know, just play, stop being so greedy. But the truth is that they're who they're up against are the greediest of the greedy. Like these guys, these are
Oh,
the
for sure.
billionaires, man. And they have been screwing over players since the beginning of all this thing. Like, think about this. There was a time, man, when players made 50 grand a year. The minute they were hurt, they were out, and the owners were raking in. Like when they first got their CBA, you know, when they fought for free agency and all that stuff, everybody played, you know, like a lot of, you know, like the papers and stuff, they played it like the players were getting greedy. Dude, think about all this money that the players are making. The owners can pay that. That's how much money they have been making the whole time. And granted, I don't want to see players hold out either. I want to see the players on our team. I want to see us keep players. I miss the old days when guys were on your team for 10, 15 years. Like, I miss that stuff. But the truth is that these players are finally getting a piece of the pie, and it's on their backs. It's the same thing like with college. There's all this stuff about, you know, the
NIL.
the licensing. And dude, think about this. There are players in college, like they'll have great college careers and they'll never make it to the NFL, but they made the school millions of dollars and they make nothing. They go and they have to go to work as an accountant or something like that. And they're like Al Bundy. I scored 4 touchdowns in a game, you know? Like that's what they end up being. Like, of course, they should make something. Like, and that's the whole thing. Like, Irsay just let it out of his mouth. Who cares, Johnny? Basically, he threw himself into it, but that's not
He
what
said
he's
the
really
quiet
saying.
part out loud. That's what it was.
What's that?
He said the quiet part out loud. I'm like,
said the quiet
people
part out
don't
loud.
realize, like, it's very, very hard for people to wrap their head around what a billion is. Like, compared to a million. Like you said, billionaire. I see a comment in the chat. Billionaires versus millionaires. Like, yeah, look, millionaires, they're living life. Let's remember, the average lifespan of a male in the United States is 75 years old. The average lifespan of an NFL player is 55. You're cutting off 20 years of your life to play a fucking game. And this billionaire's running like, it's think about it. It's $999 million plus $1 million. That's a fuck ton of money. That is so much damn money. Like, I could give a shit about the owners. Like, I want the players to earn as much as they can. And like, it's such a brief blip on the radar. You're talking 3.5 years, I think, or 3 years is the average NFL career. And 4 years is when you get the pension for the NFL. And I think in recent years, like in the last, like I would say 10, really since the concussion stuff started happening, I feel like you're seeing more of a fan push for players. I don't know.
Well,
Gets me fired up.
remember there was an old Chris Rock joke years ago, and it was when Shaquille O'Neal got that massive $100 million contract, and he was talking about wealth. And he said, people, you don't really understand what wealth is. He said, like, Shaq, and this is right after he got that contract, he said, Shaq is rich. The guy who pays Shaq is wealthy. That's the difference. Like, someone can pay someone $100 million. Or like, Mahomes, $50 million a year or whoever. Somebody's paying that a year. That's how much money we're talking about.
That's
And
an
you're
absurd
saying-
amount of.
Yeah, he said
Absurd
it,
amount of
dude.
money.
I don't give a shit. I'll just put, and they're going to put him on. He's like, I don't even have a back injury. What are we talking about? He's going to
Yeah,
ruin
that's
my career?
weird. That's super awkward.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And then there's the whole running back thing in general. Like, look, I'm with it too. Like, running backs are not the premium that they used to be because their careers are shorter and they burn out and all that sort of stuff. And that's very real. But let's call it what it is. Running backs are important, man. We're talking about signing Dalvin Cook. Why? We have 4 running backs and we still want. Why? Because it's important. And for that 3 years, 4 years of their rookie contract, we'll throw them the ball. We'll tell them to block defensive ends. We'll hand them the ball, say, run into that pile of snarling animals. And we do that. And then as soon as he's done, we're like, get out of here. We're going to get a new guy. Of course they should be fighting for something. Something should change for those guys, right?
Well, dude, realize Dalvin Cook's contract is a rounding error for these guys. That's what it is. Like, it's a tax write-off that's a rounding error. Like, that's how much money they have as a billionaire. That's the way to look at it. Like, $8 million on a billion is a drop in the bucket.
Dude, my first billion that I made, I'm so pissed that I blew through it on hookers.
Hookers and cocaine.
A billion is not that much, Ryan. I want to tell you.
You can only snort from here to LA and back twice.
Oh, no.
I used to hang out with the guy who, when I was in LA, I hung out with the guy who invented dolphin safe tuna nets. Okay. And he had a huge yacht, right? And he was like, hundreds of millions of dollars. He would throw money around but he used to get balls of cocaine and like this big and just hand them to people. Here you go. Let's see if you can get through this tonight.
Pass them out like candy.
That's how much, and he didn't go broke. So it takes a while to go through $1 billion. Let me tell you.
Knob Craft comes over. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I liked Tommy making Atlanta sad in Tampa Bay. I don't remember watching Brady do something to Atlanta other than the Patriots Super Bowl. But that was the Patriots. That wasn't Tampa Bay.
But he made Atlanta sad. Oh, in Tampa Bay.
Was the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay that year? Is that what he's saying?
No, I guess because he played him twice a year. Dude, I don't know, Knobcraft. I rooted against Brady. What, he was in the league for 22 years? Was it? I rooted for Brady against him. What's 16 times 22?
For a third of your
is.
life. More than a third of your life. Half your life almost.
I don't recall. I mean, maybe one. I think I rooted for Brady. Remember when we needed Miami to lose to get into the playoffs? That Chad Pennington year. Remember that? You talk about it, Ryan. You were in the stadium.
Oh, I love it.
That game,
dude. That was so. No, it wasn't the Chad Pennington game. It was the game I really loved. Chad Pennington was the quarterback, and it was the Patriots that had to beat the Dolphins in order for the Jets to have a shot. And then the Jets had to beat, I think it was the Packers at the time. And like one of the best games I've ever been to. Incredible. Like everyone's listening to the overtime Miami Patriot game. Patriots wind up winning and the Jets go on to fucking beat the piss out of the Packers.
Yeah, that was the best. I see like games like that, when you're forced to root for somebody, but like other than that, man, I rooted against Tom Brady. I mean, this is how much of a failure I really am. This is like, not only do I root for the Jets and we haven't done shit, but I'm also rooting against the guy who's won the most things ever. You know what I mean? Every game.
Yeah, tough spot.
It really, right, Matt? It's been tough, dude. This has been a tough stretch these last.
Dude, it makes me feel
years.
good about Josh Allen. Like as good as Josh Allen is, I feel a lot better that he's not Tom Brady. Like at least in a big game, like I can look at Allen and say, okay, he's really good, but I don't trust him to not make mistakes. Like you'll see him try to put the team on his back and he'll fumble or he'll throw an interception or something like that. And it makes me feel at least like he's human, where Brady was just a friggin' machine for 20 years. Glad he's not here.
Yeah, it's nice to see that there's not, because like right, Josh Allen is considered by many like among the class of the NFL, but he's still not Tom Brady, and that's positive.
Ron hops in and says the biggest of balls opened up Kiss in the 80s.
Yeah, that's a good one. When I said he sucks the biggest of balls, yeah, it was a great show, Ron. That was good. I was there, man. Me and you, buddy.
Chris Grant drops in. First super chat from Chris Grant. Thank you so much. Woo. Drop a little JETS in the chat. Chris says, great to meet y'all on Sunday. Told Green Bean I'd never commented. So here you go, buddy. Matt looked like a giant next to you guys at camp. Matt looks like a wide receiver. And like Green Bean and I look very small.
Look like
I don't know how tall
James.
Green Bean is. What?
I said, yeah, we looked like Craig James. He looked like Brownlee, and we looked like Craig James.
Yes. That's exactly. For those of you that don't know, that was Brownlee the receiver and Craig James the cornerback.
I was like, who is Craig James?
I was so confused for like half a second. I was like,
I know
who Brownlee is.
You should show it again so everybody gets it. For everybody who
we could show it here. Let's show it again. Well, this is what we're kind of referring to here. Look at it. Brownlee just catching it over James.
That's me.
That guy who didn't know who it was. Look at it.
Snatch.
Spider-Man. Just going up and getting a pass. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely
love it. Craig James not doing so good.
Thank you, Chris. Glad to meet you.
Yeah, right on, Chris.
It was fun to meet everybody on Sunday. Good times.
It was a blast. It was. I think my favorite part was when we went down to the like the Generation Jets section of things. We're like, oh, let's see who's down here, and it was like all these people were like, oh, I watch you. Let's go. Took a bunch of pictures then. It was fun.
Yeah,
we're behind the bleachers.
With kids.
The kid. Oh, that was the best. Taking pictures with kids is fun. Yeah. I enjoyed that. And then I feel bad that I like drop an F-bomb or something like that in one of these chats. And I'm like, I am not PG.
Yeah, you got to rein it in, Ryan. Ryan and his F-bombs is out of control, man.
Of the three of us, I think Ryan has the biggest problem with that.
I would say so. I like getting a little colorful. And then I hear a Green Bean story and whoa, Crossfire gifts another sub.
Yeah. Crossfire in the house.
Crossfire dropping it. Who got it? Fernando got it. Fernando, drop some JETS in the chat with your new emojis. Love seeing that. Weed the People says, Matt is a regular old ginger Sasquatch.
That's great. That's great. Did you see Buffalo Jet fans tweet yesterday? It really gave me a good laugh.
I don't think I caught it.
So he's very funny on Twitter, and he said something.
I love Buffalo. Buffalo's got a great sense of humor.
Oh yeah, it was some analogy. Forgive me, I forget what the analogy was, but I responded. I said, I just wanted to let you know your analogies genuinely make me laugh out loud.
Oh yeah,
which is true because I always look at my phone and I chuckle to myself every single time. And he said, I want you to know anytime I see a tall redheaded man, I think it's Matt O'Leary, and if it's a regular sized redheaded man, I think it's Jake Asman.
It's Asman.
Yeah,
that's great.
it was good.
I'm flabbergasted as to why I get called Matt all the time, like in comments, in person, like, oh, it's Matt. Like I got tagged in a tweet with Richie, or no, it was an Instagram post with Richie.
Yeah.
The person tagged the wrong Jets media account and then tagged O'Leary with me, and O'Leary's girlfriend's like, yo, when did you have a kid?
Yeah.
Wait a second. I was like, oh, that's me. Hold on. What happened? For whatever reason, I get called Matt a lot. It's probably because I'm so good looking. That's got to be what it is.
I think so. I think
right?
That's it. We
It's
shared
probably,
some good looks.
I think so. Scott gifting some memberships to the OnlyFans. Rob looking for some feet pics. Gets to be a member of the channel. I love it. Thank you for joining the OnlyFans. And Scott, thank you for gifting an OnlyFans membership. Wrong Verb said, who saw the Jason Pinnock one-handed interception? What the F? I actually did not see it. I heard about it, and people were like gushing over it, and I was like, I don't give a shit. This guy's not on our team. He can pound sand, take a long walk off a short pier. Matt, you saw it?
I did. It was a really nice play on the football. Weird one that the Jets just let him walk last year. They seem to really like him, trying to turn him into a project at safety, and he started for a playoff team last year. But Tony Adams is the new Jason Pinnock, so it's okay. We're fine.
Blitz Crew gifting 5 OnlyFans membership. Yeah, Blitz Crew. And then I see
getting in the act.
I see 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿 in here becoming a member. You guys are sickos just looking for feet pics.
They're coming.
Oh baby.
So for those of you that don't know, I get ingrown toenails like a son of a batch of cookies.
No.
And
Oh,
it's horrible. It's horrible. And I was paying a podiatrist like $35 copay every time to go for them to like numb my feet and clip my toenails. And then I figured out pedicures are friggin' amazing. So my toenails are currently painted like jet green and gunmetal.
Really?
They are. That's a fact.
Okay. There we go.
So it is what it is. Mutt Viles isn't in the chat, so someone's not dropping a hundo to see my feet. Welcome to the uncensored version of Ryan having 3 beers at the end of a stream. So it is what it is.
Did you say Scott gifted a membership? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I said Scott. Did I not say Scott? I thought I said Scott.
I don't know. Maybe
Scott, if I didn't say Scott gifted a membership, Scott gets a JETS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paris says, I hope
Hey guys,
Ryan
don't
isn't...
forget to subscribe to this new channel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're just watching the channel and not subscribed,
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Subscribe, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hit the like button.
we need you to subscribe too. It's very much appreciated as we try to build this one over here. So don't forget to do that. I know you're all subscribed out these days, but if you can fit in one more, just hit that subscribe button. It's right below
doesn't cost
the
you
video.
anything. Right?
No.
Doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, it's still free. I mean, it might be coming that it's fucking YouTube, man. You never know.
Oh, that'd be terrible. I don't want to see that. I really like YouTube. I like the way they run their stuff. So
Yeah,
hopefully
I'm really happy with YouTube right now.
I know you're not.
Motherfucking, I don't understand, man.
Oh, no.
Green Bean's a little salty with YouTube.
Dude, it's killing me. You know, it's like, it's funny because I'm pretty sure it was a Beatles thing that did it. You know, like a Beatles song. And now I was in like I don't know, Walgreens or CVS, and the Beatles are playing, and I felt myself get resentful. I'm like, oh no, like
You
I
hate the
can't.
Beatles
I
now.
love the Beatles, dude. Like, you know, now it's killing me. This shit. I don't want to be mad at the YouTube and the Beatles.
Nah, you don't want to be. You can.
But I am.
You're allowed to be. It's okay.
I don't want to be.
No.
I don't want to be, Ryan.
Alfonso says, hit those milk thumbs. Hey, we got a bunch of members in here, members of our OnlyFans. Make sure you drop those milk thumbs in there. I see Harry and Fungus Among Us dropping milk thumbs.
Oh, yeah.
Milk thumbs emoji. Coming in hot.
Yeah, there's 400 people in here, 235 milk thumbs. So let's get those milk thumbs cooking, everybody.
Look at all the milk thumbs popping up in the chat. I love it. Ronald says 400 people, 200 likes. Damn Finns fans.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
It's got to be. Crossfire hops in. Says it costs me every week to be subbed, and I'm okay with it. LOL. Well, thank you.
Yeah, we love you for it.
It's not. It doesn't actually cost you money, but we're very, very grateful for you to be a member here with us, Crossfire, and for you to like. For those of you guys that are just hopping in to the chat, Crossfire is gifting a Week 9 Jets Chargers Talkin' Jets experience to one of the lucky listeners. We're going to give that away in the month of October at some point. Beginning of October, end of September. We'll give that away. Crossfire's a fucking man. That's what it is.
An animal.
Legend.
Absolutely. Knobcraft, too. The two of you guys. Blitz crew. Literally, like, for you guys to be hanging out with us in the offseason, we know who you are. You guys hanging out in the offseason when the fair weather fans aren't even on YouTube, not looking up Jets content. We know who the real ones are. Love Bites
Look
is
at all
rigged.
the members. It's insane. When you look through the chat, it's insane.
It's all members.
It's just
Everyone's members. There's literally, I'm looking at the feed right now. There's 3 people that are not members. Jin, Andrew, Rudy, I'm calling you out right now. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Content's free.
No.
All you have to do is subscribe and like. If you feel like we've done enough of a job to earn a little bit of cheddar, it's always appreciated.
Yeah. Help.
But we don't do it for that. It's the fun of it all.
Never.
Clearly,
Ferris
I
Grim
don't.
says Crossfire is the Oprah of Jets YouTube. Certainly feels that way.
You get a super chat or gift.
Oh, look at Scott coming in. Hold on, I'll throw it up when it comes up. There he goes. Boom! Scott gifted another membership. J-Boy becomes a member. J-Boy's coming with us to the Jets-Chargers game.
Oh,
I'm glad you won
baby.
that one. That's a good one. Look at J-Boy. J-Boy, let's see some milk thumbs. Come on. Give us the milk thumbs. I see Jets Take says, is it actually OnlyFans? OnlyFans is the name of our YouTube members. So yes, it is actually OnlyFans.
Yeah, but it's also not.
It's not. for copyright purposes, it is absolutely not that.
No.
Crossfire gifts another one. Crossfire, you're an animal.
How do you claim the membership? Like if
I have
one
no idea.
gift-
I think it's just random. Unless it pops up. I have no idea. I've never been in a live stream when it actually happens. Dane O was gifted the membership. He was also Dane O was the winner of our Jets putter. So Dane, you're gonna have to let us know how that putter's actually going for you. Actually, I had Nicholas Dow, one of our members as well, members, subscribers, whatever. Nicholas actually bought a Jets TP tailor-made putter.
Oh,
Very
that's
cool. Yeah, he reached out to me. He's like, "Yo, want the Jets putter?" I was like, "Got you, dude." So that should be shipping, I think, middle of August. I think it was when that was actually coming out. So very, very cool. Crossfire says, "Gotta try and get everyone to be a member." That's the goal. Hopefully.
Yeah, I want one. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying.
wanna be a member.
I'm in here. I want to be a member.
I can't use the milk thumbs.
We absolutely need to make ourselves members. That's the weird thing about like YouTubers collabing on something. It's like we're all owners of the channel, but for some reason we can't all use milk thumbs. I can use it because I'm logged in under the manager, so I'm able to do it. Knobcraft dropping in some channel memberships. Thank you, dude.
Did I get one?
Who got it? Infamous Julian was the winner of that one. Look at all the milk thumbs in there. That's a great emoji.
You did good with that one.
As soon as we hopped off the stream last week, I sent this picture to Matt and Greenbean, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." I got to work on an animation for milk thumbs. I got to get the sound that Green Bean did earlier. I'm going to clip it.
Something going on.
That's slow-mo milk thumbs. Douglas comes in. Douglas says, membership is too much of a commitment. I'll do the occasional super chat. Douglas, thank you. You absolutely don't have to do the membership. You don't have to super chat. We just appreciate you guys hanging out and spending some time with us.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, please don't feel obligated. We appreciate all you guys just hanging.
Yeah, it's fun. Green Bean, Matt, and I are talking like literally all the time anyway. And like, for the most part, it's literally just the three of us talking and like just hanging out. And then everyone that's in the chat, you guys hanging out with us just means a lot.
Yeah.
Really does.
Best.
You guys are awesome. Crossfire hops in. He says, everyone here is my family through the good and the bad. We were talking about that at Jets camp on Sunday, how I talk to Matt and Green Bean far more than I talk to my own family. And it, like literally the chat as well. Like I know a lot of you guys. I don't want to say better than my family, but I speak to you far more than I do my family. And it was funny. We were talking about how people have different names across different social media platforms. So we talk to the same person occasionally, but they have different names and we don't realize it. But it's very cool to see the community that the Jets YouTube presence has kind of made between the three of us, Richie, Asman, Buffalo, Ian. The list goes on and on. Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like all those guys are awesome. So the group of people that are in the chat right now, you guys absolutely make it worth it for us to have fun and hang out with everyone.
Amen.
Oh man, we are at 10 o'clock already. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel.
All right.
Where's the?
Well, I have. Let me see. Wait, one. 36.
36. Oh man. Oh man. So do you have them numbered 1 through 36 right now?
No.
Can you count to 36 without using your toes?
I just did it before your eyes. I'm brilliant.
See? Look at that. So we're going to change this to 36. Apparently the num lock doesn't work on this when I do that. Interesting. All right, so we got 1 through 36. So someone is going to wind up winning either a shirt, a pillow, or a mug. We haven't had someone win the jersey. We've had it come close. Like the little ticker gets close to that jersey every time. Not every time, but occasionally. Blitzcrew hopping in says, no baggage claim? Blitzcrew, I'm sorry. I love baggage claim, but OnlyFans is so much better.
Well, what were we going to use baggage claim for? Remember?
We were talking about the members. We were talking about the members. We could use baggage claim for something else. Like maybe that's like what happens after a long weekend. I don't know. I don't know how that would make sense. But like you're waiting. Yeah, you're waiting for something. I like it. It's a good idea. The organic nature of OnlyFans. When we were talking, what was that, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? And we're like, oh man, that's actually a great name for this. All right. David D calls this the Wheel of Misfortune. Screw you, David. Jerk.
All right.
All right. Someone's got to get something. Let's see what it is. All right. Random number generator. Number 20, Green Bean. Who's number 20?
Oh, I got it. Let's see here. Number 20 is 𝐼𝐴𝐴𝐻𝐿. 𝐼𝐴𝐴𝐻𝐿.
Ooh, 𝐼𝐴𝐴𝐻𝐿.
Still here?
Oh, that's what it was. See, Infamous was saying, Ryan, you said last week you'd change the wheel name to baggage claim. Let me see if I could do that. Oh, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I thought it was something else.
I totally goofed on that one. That is a great name for that. That makes far more sense than anything I was
rigged.
talking about.
Yeah, let's spin it. I got to wake up in 2 hours.
Give me 1 second. I'm working on it.
I know, Matt. It's killing me.
And every time you say that, it hurts my soul.
It's so real. Ron Weiss put in the chat, 3:30 comes up fast, huh? I'm like, oh.
All right, baggage claim.
Oh, I like it.
Is the new name
Look
of
at
the
Ryan.
wheel.
The wheel.
See? Crossfire
so
says,
smart.
don't worry, Matt. I am going to catch you live one day and gift memberships out to you one day.
Oh, good. I'm in.
Love it. Love it. All right.
So I'm Mitch. Get him a pillow, everybody.
I'm Mitch. Let's see what we got. Spin the wheel. What do we got? No
Oh.
whammy. No whammy. No!
Whoa.
It's a pillow. You get to sleep with us with a Talkin' Jets pillow. Look at that. See?
Oh,
Come
that's
on
the
now.
best.
Reach out to us, talkinjets@gmail, or talkinjetshow@gmail.com, or jetstalk247@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We'll get you a shirt, or sorry, a pillow. So that way you can, like I said, sleep with us. All right, but we have reached the end of our show. Green Bean, any last words for our panel?
Yeah, well, it's an exciting week, dude. We have Jets football in 2 days. So you are aware, the Thursday thick of it is happening over here. We're going to go live for the game, so we'll combine the Thursday thick of it and our watch party. If you're looking for some people to hang out with and watch the game together, we're going to be doing it right here. We'll start at 7 so we can chit-chat an hour before the game, but we'll watch the full game together like we do for every game. It'll be here, 7 p.m., straight through the end of the game on Talkin' Jets panel channel.
I'm excited. We're looking forward to having Matt out in Canton and having the satellite, kind of chiming in. Matt, any last words for our panel?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm really excited to be out in Canton at the end of this week. For anyone in the chat that is going out there, myself, Jake Asman, and Boy Green will be at Jersey's at the Belden location doing a Jet fan party, 8 o'clock to midnight. You get a wristband, you come, you hang with us. It's a good time. I'm really excited about it. And let's go see our guys get put in the Hall of Fame. It'll be fun.
I love it. Green Bean and I will be here Thursday night, hanging out with everyone, getting O'Leary, Asman, and Boy Green calling in, doing some on-site recon. We're excited for it. Boys and girls, this is the Talkin' Jets panel. We'll be back here next week, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Make sure you hit those milk thumbs on the way out. This is Jets Talk signing off. JETSFAN.